Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So some news in the lightweight division, or shall I say talk. Devin Haney and Vasyl Lomachenko have been engaging on Twitter, and they've had a few choice words for each other. Now this transpired after Bob Arum actually recently said that he would certainly consider Vasyl Lomachenko versus Devin Haney, and that he thought it was a good fight. And that prompted Devin Haney on Sunday to tweet, "Where the fuck is Loma at?" Vasyl Lomachenko responded, "I'm here. I'm waiting for you cowards to decide on a real fight and not a Twitter fight." Devin Haney in turn responded with, "Waiting is not your best bet. I would think you learned that from the Tio fight." Lomachenko then responded with the following, "Waiting is your favourite action because you still haven't fought with anyone." And that's where it ended. So yeah, some back and forth between Vasyl Lomachenko and Devin Haney. Now where do we even start with this one? First and foremost, it is good news that Bob Arum is actually receptive to this fight. There was a point in time when he really wasn't interested in a Lomachenko versus Devin Haney fight. Now that appears to have changed. And me personally, I'm happy about that because it's certainly a fight I'm interested in. Devin Haney to me is a very talented young fighter, and as Lomachenko alluded to in his tweets, Devin Haney has fought absolutely nobody, and despite having a world title, he's basically not proven anything. We still really have no idea just how good Devin Haney is right now. And me personally, and I can only speak for myself, while I rate Devin Haney's skill set, I'm getting bored and tired of waiting for him to actually take a step-up fight. And yeah, a fight between Devin Haney and Lomachenko to me would be very intriguing. I personally would make Vasyl Lomachenko a massive favourite in that fight. Devin Haney's a bigger, longer guy and younger, fresher, but he doesn't pose the same threats that Teofimo Lopez does. He doesn't have that sort of punching power or that threat of really knocking out Lomachenko. I actually don't believe Devin Haney poses the same problems that Teofimo does stylistically, but nevertheless it's still a fight I want to see because who knows, maybe Devin Haney is just that good and he can actually beat Lomachenko. I personally doubt it, but I still want to see these two guys square off. Devin Haney right now, you know, he can't really get fights with Teofimo Lopez. Lopez, for whatever reason, doesn't really seem too interested in that fight. As for Ryan Garcia, I have to be honest, I think he's flat out ducking Devin Haney at this point. I mean, what's the point winning the interim WBC title if you've got no interest in fighting Devin Haney, who's got that full version of that belt? You know, that makes no sense whatsoever. Ryan's talking about fights that are much more unlikely to be made, but the fight that is easily makeable, theoretically, is Devin Haney. Both guys are on the same network, but Ryan has no interest. So Devin can't really get the Tio fight, he can't get the Ryan Garcia fight, we can't count on Tank Davis for anything. So to me, man, Devin Haney versus Vasyl Lomachenko is a great fight. It's a great fight for both guys. If Lomachenko were to win that fight, he gets that WBC title, and he's in a much better position to get that rematch with Teofimo Lopez. And if Devin Haney wins, then he's got that validation that he desperately needs right now among the hardcore boxing fans, because I think most fans see Devin Haney as a talented young guy, but he's proven absolutely nothing. And if he were to beat Lomachenko, that would be a great feather in his cap. I don't care whether Lomachenko's coming off a loss on paper. He's still one of the best fighters in the world, and it would be a big statement if Devin Haney were to win that fight. So I love this fight. Bob Arum is also talking about Lomachenko versus Nakatani, which is also a good fight in its own right, but I've got much more interest in Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. So hopefully something can come of this. Obviously it's boxing, so I very much doubt it, but a guy can hope, right? I do hope this fight has some traction behind it, and I would love to see it get made, quite frankly. But I still expect Lomachenko to fight Nakatani, and I think Devin Haney will fight Jorge Linares in his next fight. Again, those two fights in their own right are not bad fights, but obviously Lomachenko versus Devin Haney to me is much more exciting. And yeah, those tweets from Lomachenko also, in my opinion, kind of highlights his frustration right now. He's actually got a point in regards to the lightweight division. A lot of these guys are talking, but they're really not any closer to fighting each other. I think Devin Haney is the least culpable of that. Don't get me wrong, he talks, but in regards to Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia, to me Devin Haney's not the problem in those fights not getting made. So Lomachenko's got a point with what he's saying in regards to these young lightweights, but I think Devin Haney is like the least culpable of all of these young guys coming up, quite frankly. And yeah, interesting news. You know, it's boxing, so like I said, more than likely it won't happen, but fingers crossed, you never know. I think it's a great fight for both guys, and yeah, in my opinion, it makes a lot of sense. Share your thoughts below. Would you be interested in this potential fight? And yeah, what do you make of this story? Beanie Guy Del Boy, peace.